Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another epic episode of
PaintWater soon! Oh
Brains.
my god.
what the heck was that?
We have a zombie in the house.
Zombies.
Yeah. So, we have our first guest with us today, guys. Zambies. Yeah. So, what's up? How's your day going?
Oh, good. The sun is shining. Weather's nice. It's not raining. I woke up early just to clean the house and, and then get some hobby time in. I've got a bunch of stuff on my desk, projects. Yeah, I've been productive today. That's crazy.
So, just for like clarity, what's the time at where you're at now? So,
Oh yeah, it's about 1:15 where I am, so a little after midday.
okay, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
For
We're
all
just
dudes like
ending
us,
our
it's
day with
already
this, yeah.
sleeping time.
I was gonna say you guys are up late, right?
Nah, just put the kid to sleep. You know, it's like 8 here, so that's why it took some time. Just jumping in the chat, just put him in sleep, and then I'm here. Yeah.
All right. So normally we would jump in and what we've done to the what we've done to the hobby. No, wait, it's
tainted
for the
it.
hobby. I despoiled it. So as a guest, would you give us the honors and just tell us what was your last project that you've finished or that you've started?
Oh, well, finished. Slowly back on the Curse City train, so I'm working my way through Curse City. When I got the box, I went through and built everything and based almost everything. And then I started painting like little less than half of it. And I kind of got burnt out and went on to other projects. And now I picked it up again. I was like, I got to finish this. So I've been working my way through that. I'm almost done. I think I've got like 11 models left. So you got to ride that train. I also have, I just primed a few fun upcoming pieces. I've soiled a space marine, and I have a commission piece on my desk that's really cute. It's a little platypus.
Aw.
Cool. Okay, so just right off the bat, you paint. Do you paint for like gaming too, or is it just for funsies?
Yeah, I paint for both. I love doing like expression pieces and display pieces, busts, and then I also paint tabletop. I'm really getting big into Warcry right now, so I have done a bunch of train, and I have a few war bands painted. I did slowly start to build my Nighthaunt army for AOS, and then I kind of gave up on that and shifted to Warcry because I was like, this is too much. This is too many models.
Yeah.
I sometimes paint some 40K stuff, but I don't have plans to really jump into playing 40K just because I prefer fantasy more. I've painted some D&D pieces, but for the most part, I paint for fun, and depending on what the piece and the model is whether I take it to tabletop or display quality.
Yeah, yeah. So we usually begin the episodes just talking also about like things outside the hobby, like story time. Have you had any like how is your life right now, like besides the hobby? What's going on in your life? And like yeah.
Chaos. No,
Yeah, you have kids, so yeah, I've been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
How many
actually
how many kids, or is it it's at least one and one dog? Okay, yeah, 2 kids.
Yeah, I've got 2 kids. I have a 6 and an 8-year-old, and then I have a anxiety ridden puppo who's a rescue. So she's got special needs herself, and yeah, it's winding down. There's about a week left of school until summer break, so we're finishing that up. Yeah, it's a lot. I was like, my brain is already fried thinking about everything. Trying to balance being a full-time mom with also being like a full-time content creator and being in the hobby and enjoying the hobby and still, you know, not trying to be burnt out on that, because this is, as much as it is my job, it is also something I really enjoy. That is why it's called a hobby. So yeah, trying to balance that. So
Totally get that.
Just to get the people to know you a bit better, you're doing all your hobby stuff like as a full-time job.
yeah, so I always say like I'm a full-time mom, because that, to me, that is like, you know, my kids are still young and I'm always doing that, but also like my main job is the hobby and content creation. I've just started taking on commissions, and I Twitch stream, and I have a Patreon. It's not super active, as crazy as all the other people with tutorials, but yeah, slowly trying to work on content creation and balance that with everything else.
All right. And when I look at your stream, when I look at your Patreon, also if you are looking for a talented young lady that is streaming and you want to support someone on Patreon, I could highly suggest going over there and supporting Zambies. Not plugging anything here.
Nudge, nudge, hint, hint.
Because the streams are always fun to watch. I always like to join. The community is really nice. But I see some sponsorships on the side of your stream. Would you mind telling us about your sponsors and what you're actually doing for them? That would be interesting, I think.
Yeah, I have two sponsors, and I know a lot of people in the hobby like having sponsorships and all of that. I'm a little bit more reserved and picky and choosy with my sponsorships. So I only have two, and I like them because I am sponsored by Reaper Miniatures and I'm sponsored by Monument Hobbies. And both of them I feel are active and supportive in the community, and that's why I like them. They listen to the community. I use both their products. I highly believe that I am never going to be sponsored by anyone that I'm not going to use their stuff, because that's why I don't have a ton of sponsors, because I'm going to go to what I actually, you know, want to present to the community. So I just love Reaper, and like for D&D and all their miniatures, and I have a bunch of random parts on my desk that I've kit bashed, buying their models and cutting them up, destroying them. But yeah, they're very friendly and nice, and I like their products. And Monument Hobbies, I use a lot of their paints. The reason I like them too is they're very laid back in their sponsorships. So for Reaper, it's really just like, do you like this? Do you want to be sponsored by us? We'll give you some kickback in our products, and you help promote them. It's all up to you. Like, they don't really have like these crazy sponsorship rules or anything like that.
So there's no way like they're forcing you to paint specific videos or streams with their stuff. Nothing like that. No.
Mm-mm.
Cool.
So
That's
that's where we like that. And Monument Hobbies is really laid back too, and I like them. And the one thing I really like about Monument is they actually if people buy your products or use your code to buy their products and stuff, they give you a cash payout, which a lot of companies I feel like don't with their sponsorships. So plus I really like Jason and Jen. They're super cool.
Cool.
I waited a long time for my expansion set for the newest one.
Here we go again.
Really
I still
get, yeah.
It's really that's the only problem is they're they're so, if you think about it, like on the scale of hobby companies, you think like GW and Reaper up there, and Monument Hobbies is like, it's a small little company compared to them, and trying to sell outside the United States is a bit of a it's hard. Like shipping, products, all of that.
Peter, could you tell us your
blah blah
thoughts
blah
about
blah, Yeah, we've been talking about like paint stuff, and we always want to try everything, right? But I was at a crossroads and I went the Chimera route, but I'm always interested in trying those paints out as well. They seem so good. Everybody's talking about them. Yeah.
I actually just got them. I have a friend who was like, I don't really like these because they don't fit my painting style. But if you want to try them, I'll sell them to you for the cost of shipping. And I was like, yes.
Nice.
So I got, they were barely used. Some of them I don't think are even opened. So I have a project I've primed on my desk, and I'm going to try them for the first time.
Cool. You have to tell me what you think when you're done. Some of the paints are, they're amazing. They like the red, especially. Always go back to that red.
Magenta also was killer.
Oh yeah, magenta. Yeah. Okay, so I don't know why, but I think the first time I stumbled upon you was Hobby Time in the Murder Basement, and for me, you've always been somewhat connected with like the Twitch side of the hobby. Would that be a fair assumption? Like, would you consider yourself first and foremost a streamer?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was Twitch that got me into the hobby, and that is where the bulk of my content is. And the main reason for that, I feel like I will always call myself a streamer first, is because I'm more spontaneous and live, and I like to live in the moment and have those interactions with chat and just feed off of the energy and go. I'm not very good with scripts. So slowly I will be working my way into video content for YouTube and stuff like that. But it's been a little bit more hectic because streams, you can just fire it up and just stream as long as you want and have fun versus planning out and doing video editing and all of that. So it's finding the time to do that and energy.
Yeah, trust me. I just started out, so it's insane. So
I can boost you. I have I don't know if you've seen my last video, Stop Painting Minis. That is totally, completely unscripted, and I just sat in front of the camera and recorded. That thing was 45-minute ranting in front of my camera, and that works. You don't need to be you don't need to make any plans or scripts and stuff. You can just fire and forget on YouTube. It kind of works.
That's probably what my content will end up being.
Yeah. So a quick like interruption on the Zambies stuff, but just how is it going, Björn, with the affiliate stuff? I just want to know. I mean, we haven't been talking too, so I know I've been seeing in Discord that you're on the verge, man. How's it going?
Tomorrow, last stream tomorrow, and I will finally be Twitch affiliate. I mean, it's a million years till I will become partner, but if I have 4 people tomorrow watching my shit, I will get that stupid badge, and I can finally force people to pay me in bits.
Nice.
You know what? I think being partner on Twitch is a little overrated compared to, because I've read the contract, and that is why I never really strived for it.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the kickback, the little extra that you get from being partner, I think, for me personally, not for everybody else, is too constraining for what you get in return.
Okay. So being affiliate is enough.
Yeah, well, I mean, it depends on what you want. If you ever want to live stream on YouTube, I think they're lifting this, but currently you couldn't live stream the same content that you do on Twitch on YouTube. You can't do it on any other platform. Being a partner, they lock you down on Twitch.
Oh, shit.
That's why. Now I think they're lifting that, but in order to lift that, they're taking more money from you.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course,
why
right?
wouldn't they?
So there's a few pros and cons. Most of them are remotes and stuff you get from being partner, and the fact that they boost your signals, so you do get way more discoverability, which is hard on Twitch anyway. It's really hard to get discovered in our line of outside of gaming and stuff. But yeah, if you look at everything, Twitch partner wasn't something that I was totally thrilled about, so I don't really look for it.
Okay. So I see a lot of people switching up their content and also streaming like gaming stuff in the days that they are not streaming painting. But I don't think that's a good way to go, because not everyone interested in gaming is interested in painting and vice versa. So I think having a straight concept for your channel is the better way to go. But I really want to know everything from the beginning. So there's young Zambies, not being named Zambies at the moment probably, and
yeah,
when
it's
did
totally
you?
my real name.
Yeah, it's totally your real name, and I will not ask for anything else. But so there was this young Zambies, and when did young Zambies first come in contact with the hobby?
I wasn't that young. No, I have been in the hobby for it'll be 3 years around Halloween. So
3 years.
Of course, it was Halloween. Yeah.
Yeah, it's around Halloween.
Duh.
That's the only time I remember, because Halloween time. Yeah, so I haven't been in it that long for miniatures and wargaming and tabletop, all of that. I actually found it through, if anyone's heard this story, I always tell it, but I found it through Twitch. I started streaming on Twitch as a video game streamer.
Okay.
Because I have a background in graphic design, and I was going to do graphic illustrations on streaming on Twitch was my goal. But to get my feet wet and figure out how to stream, I just started streaming World of Warcraft and Diablo, Path of Exile, just some games to play and BS with some friends. So I could get used to streaming, and then I was going to switch over. And I did some illustration streams, but I went to one of my friends who is a comic illustrator, his channel, and he was hosting a miniature painter. And I went and clicked, and I started watching his content. And I just kept asking questions and getting to know the community, and one thing led to another, and I bought a kit and started painting.
Cool. Nice.
You still remember what miniature painter it was?
Yeah, it was Grey Paladin Art. He's a UK-based streamer.
Cool.
And painter.
What kind of mini was he painting? Was it fantasy? Was it Warhammer at all? Or was it just some...
I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure it was a Warhammer miniature. Yeah.
So it's his fault that today everyone in this podcast is getting eaten by zombies. Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. Thanks
I
a
told
lot,
him. I told him I blame everything on him. The funny part is I actually knew some people who were into Warhammer previously, but I never put it together as, oh, you paint the miniatures or anything like that. No one ever threw me into the hobby. So it finally clicked and all the pieces fell together.
Yeah. That's the weird stuff with the hobby, really. I mean, I've been in contact with it for years and years and years, but I found painting 2 years ago. So all of the people that I've like game with nobody had any interest in picking up a brush. So there's like two parts of the community, and yeah, it's really history, but it's a beautiful place, isn't it? I mean, like there's yeah. What's your like? Do you have when did you realize first that, oh my God, this is a great community? What was the first like receipt of that?
Honestly, it was going into those first streams and starting to watch some other miniature streamers in the community and asking them questions, and everyone was so inviting and nice, and they were like, yeah, you should paint with us, one of us, you know. Everyone wants to taint everyone else and get them in the hobby, like, yeah, come on.
Yeah.
You know, get piled up in plastic with us, we're here for it.
Yeah.
So that it was the fact that I had such a like nice warm welcome from the beginning that this hobby is just, you know, holds a special place in my heart.
Yeah. But you joined, correct me if I'm wrong, but it was right before COVID then?
Yeah,
it was before, yeah.
Yeah, it was the end of 2019 going in to 2020. Yeah, yay.
Yay. And then of course when it really hit, I mean, oh my God, I find myself at home. What am I supposed to do with my free time? Yeah. So I just realized that we made a blasphemous mistake. We forgot the dad joke.
Yeah, where's my dad joke, mate?
It's over here.
You're slacking off.
We have a dad.
Hit it.
Yeah. We have a dad joke, and of course we have it's in honor of Zambies. So, what does a zombie vegetarian eat?
I know this one. Should
Yeah,
I
of course
answer
you
it?
do. Yeah, you can answer it. Yeah.
Grains.
There we go.
I love dad jokes.
Oh,
it's awesome.
nice.
It's so dry.
I would guess as a full-time mom, you should have an honorary dad joke license.
I have a dad. I literally have a book of dad jokes.
Is there a thing like mom jokes? Is that something? What's a mom joke?
I don't know. I think mom jokes are probably more cynical.
Yeah, cynical and like throwing dads under the bus. I feel like, yeah.
or like the sweet innocent jokes for the children, you know.
Like my girlfriend, she follows like a Swedish like Instagrammer. It's like mom truths. And it's only like look what a stupid thing my kid or my husband did today, and
That's
it's
the same,
she.
dude.
Yeah, she laughs, and I feel it's yeah.
So there's this saying in Germany, and it says like, I have to translate it. So every day I work really hard. So my wife.
I really felt like it was every day I'm shuffling. There was like that pause. Every day I'm shuffling.
Every day I'm working really, really hard. So my wife could say absolute proudly, that idiot over there, yeah, that's mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard work, mate. It's really hard work. So you fell into the hobby through streams. And what I really enjoy about this hobby is we managed to keep the gatekeepers out. If you know what I mean, because in a lot of hobbies, even if you start something that's pretty outgoing, like we are doing with YouTube and podcasts and streams and whatnot, oftentimes people are like, yeah, where's your right to speech? You're in this for like 1.5, 2, 3 years. You have no experience. you haven't earned your right to speak. And I feel in this hobby, it's the other way around. If like you got something interesting to say, or you've got an interesting personality, this hobby allows you to be outgoing, and at least I feel that way. And it might be a bit controversial, but still, this society divides between men and women. And I don't know what your experience as a woman was regarding that topic.
I feel like everyone's going to have their own experience, and no matter what, field, hobby, wherever you are, there's always going to be bad apples. There's always going to be gatekeepers. And, I have run into people like that as being a woman or not being straight, anyone under the rainbow. I know that people no, it's out. I'm proud.
Oh no. We invited a gay person. Shut down the recording.
I mean, hello.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
No.
Death on a rainbow. That's
yeah. But you're always gonna have those people no matter what and everywhere.
Yeah.
And they're gonna be louder. And I feel like this is gonna be my controversial, but I feel like there's kind of a line where I don't have that so often when streaming, at least now that I have built a more solid community where I have made clear lines on who I invite into my community and who I keep and whether their toxic behavior will be tolerated or not. And when you set those boundaries, you tend to keep a lot of those people out already, and you have a nice supportive community. But when it's more in the painting side, the fun people with like D&D, just normal tabletop, and I've never really ran into it on the AOS side and all of that, and Warhammer, I've never had issues. I mean, I've walked in a Warhammer store, I had a great experience, but I have a Space Marine on my desk that I'm going to paint all rainbow, and I put a female head on it, and you bet your ass I'm going to get a lot of flack for that, which I have already in the past. Because on the gaming side, more into 40K, there's a lot of heavier old school players that don't like certain things. And I understand that, and I know that a lot of people have had worse experiences than me. But I think overall, I don't let those situations taint the hobby as a whole. And I prefer to see the good in the hobby, and all the amazing people I have met totally outweighs those just loud assholes. And also, as being a female, I have had those loud assholes in every aspect of my life. So I'm good. Like, it's unavoidable, but I just try to be louder so then you don't hear them.
Yeah. I figure there is a lot of like loud assholes in like graphic design, that kind of line of work. Yeah, it just screams loud assholes.
Just everywhere in every aspect of life.
Yeah.
Is it okay if we stay in that controversial side of the talk for a minute? Because I really want to hear a female opinion on a thing. And that is, for one, I follow a lot of female creators that also do spicy stuff on the side.
I know where you're going with this. Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh God, he's looking at boobs on the internet. Everyone will go crazy right now.
The internet was made for porn.
Yes. It's my favorite song, by the way.
There's a joke, right? But if they would like close down all of the porn sites, there would be one porn site left, and it would be named "Where's the Porn? Bring back the porn."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But there's a lot of cool creators that I enjoy. One of them, sadly, was Lasthammer, because Lasthammer stopped doing Warhammer content and is just doing the spicy stuff now. I don't follow that because I'm no one paying for a spicy service. That's not what I'm into. But as a woman, doing your hobby and enjoying it, and also doing something like that on the side, you often get that stamp of, yeah, you're just doing this so you can attract the men from that hobby, and you're not a real Warhammer fan or not a real painter or whatever. And I really would like to hear your opinion on that. Sorry if that is crossing any lines or anything.
No, I'm up for talking about everything. But so I'm going to take this in two ways. One is I don't know if you guys constantly have seen my content or anything like that. I dress more on the conservative side or the geeky side, unless it's 90 degrees and I'm very pasty and I can't stand my body sweat. So I'm going to have like a tank top on. But I don't create really spicy content. And that is not because I have anything against it. It's just because that's just not me. And but on the same side, I make sex jokes all the time and I scream about body positivity and I will talk like one of the boys and have a mouth like a sailor. I don't I'm not ashamed about any of that. And for those women who want to do that content, that's their body and they can do it. And if you don't like it, you don't watch it. I don't feel like they should be shamed in any way. They can go get your paper, honey. Do whatever you want to do. You wear whatever you want. And that's what sucks is because even though I don't obviously flaunt my body, I will still get comments like that every once in a while. Or I get comments that are like, oh, you're a girl and you post a picture with your face, so, your miniature's going to get more likes than a guy who posts a picture with his miniatures. And you're going to get it no matter what, so you might as well wear whatever you want. It's there's no stopping it. People are going to pick flaws in everything you do. So just do what you want to do. And I live and I let live, and that's how I go about my life. You don't like something, you don't need to comment on it. Just keep scrolling. It's not your content. Don't worry about it. I tell my kids all the time, what did Thumper say? If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. It's really, it really is on the side of we've been talking on this on the other episodes as well, the content that we do, even if it's painting or if it's like recording or filming, like all of the sides of the content, it has to come from what you want to do yourself. You can never do it for anybody else. If you want to do it, you do what you want to do, and it shows through. So, and do whatever. As you say, if you don't like it, just keep scrolling. Yeah.
And that's another thing is a lot of people want to talk about the OnlyFans with women and stuff like that, but how many men in this hobby? And by all means, I'm not picking on this person. I just ran across a new person Fit Hammer, if you've seen him. He does bodybuilding and all of that also with the hobby. And you can argue the same thing is he's using his lovely body for the hobby, but I bet you he doesn't get the same pushback as women do. Yeah. And I'm all for it because I would love to see more men be confident and go ahead, honey, use your body.
Yeah.
Do it. Right?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Miniac made that April Fool's thing where all the guys got together.
That was awesome.
I loved it.
Yeah.
And I think everyone should just not shame other people's bodies and do whatever they want and not be afraid of it.
Yeah, that's all right.
As long as it's not promoting, I am all for body positivity as long as it doesn't cross the line of promoting unhealthy stuff. Either way, unhealthy fitness stuff or unhealthy eating stuff, that has nothing to do with body positivity, in my opinion. everything
Yeah, if you're not
else.
trying to sell diet pills along with your Space Marines, yeah, that's when we're like, but if
Yeah.
I'm just the type of person that it doesn't bother me if you want to like, men, put a Space Marine on your pec and flex it, whatever, go ahead.
Check out Swiss Paints. The dude was pushing me on TikTok, and Swiss Paints' second hobby is bodybuilding, and he is getting shredded AF. So if you want to see some nice man candy, check
Yeah,
out Swiss
we need more
Paints.
men candy.
All right. Just to switch the topic to something nicer, I bet Peter also has a lot of questions left. I am starting to write my shit down so I don't interrupt him all the time. That is because of my.
We just go with the flow. That's what we
yeah.
do.
I'm really sorry if I interrupt anyone. That's my my ADD. I have a hard time.
Right there with you.
Okay. It may be ADHD or whatever, but I don't know what HD means. But the doctor said I have 80 of them bitches. That's the best thing I got is, woo!
Yay, you win the lottery of mental health.
Yeah. So, would you please tell our fine little audience where your name comes from?
My name comes from World of Warcraft and late night playing. I used to be like heavy player, raiding, all of that. And I believe I was leveling an alt and I was running around. I don't remember where it was. But there was a bunch of skeletons chasing me or something. And I was like, oh my God, help. Zambies are coming after me, because I always got to make stupid nicknames and jokes about it. And we were all laughing because, back then I have to say back then, I'm so old. You were all, if you've been in Ventrilo before Discord, that's where everyone hung out. And we were just shooting and we're making jokes. And so I said that and everyone was laughing and it kind of stuck. So I named a character that. And I had two characters. One was Decays and one was Zambies. And Decays was an undead priest. So decaying. Wow, I was so smart when I came up with that name. So, and a lot of my socials, Zambies was already taken because I found out later, I guess, PewDiePie made it popular, the name, or it's like a Minecraft thing. And I swear to God, I was not related to that at all. But now I'm like, oh, crap. But so I needed to add something else with it. So I added Decays. And that's how it came about.
Cool.
I could tell the story about my olds on World of Warcraft. I am so old. I played vanilla and I was on TeamSpeak. I was on TeamSpeak.
Wow.
I didn't use TeamSpeak.
So we talked about this on the Discord. Like, there's two things. Like, I'm a person that I can get addicted to anything. Like, I've been drinking so much Coca-Cola in my life that it's not even funny. So there's two things in life that I've swore off that I'm never ever going to try, and it's smoking, and it's World of Warcraft. So yeah, so I've never even touched it. I never. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Imagine
it was
smoking
heavy addiction. I'd quit and then I would go back and then, I came back for Classic and I was like, no, I'm done. I gotta be done.
Classic.
You get sucked in and then the problem is you're like, oh wow, it's 2 a.m. and I haven't showered in 3 days and I'm eating leftover pizza. I should probably do something with my life. But yeah.
Yeah, I had like buddies dropping out of school to play World of Warcraft, and like now I'm I have like people at work now that still talk of like they had like a world first. What's that? I don't know what that's called, but they like hit the dungeon or something, and they kill the first boss or something. Yeah, and they're still like bragging about this to this day, but yeah, I don't know if it's worth that much. Yeah.
I've had server first stuff and
Cool.
Me
guilds and
too.
things like that, but not world first. No, I was never that hardcore. I was like, I do need to have some type of restraint.
Yeah.
My craziest shit I did on World of Warcraft was I had a server first Thunder Fury on Horde side,
Nice.
which was really epic. And there was this stupid tool that was measuring damage, and coming to Cataclysm, I went place 699 in damage in Europe, which is kind of crazy. So but I was raiding 6 days a week. That was a bit. I also my biggest achievement in World of Warcraft was meeting my wife.
Aw.
That's where I met my husband.
Oh.
Ta-da!
There we go.
Yeah,
There we go.
WoW brings a lot of people together. Yeah, I married my guild leader.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's what my wife did.
Yeah.
I was main tank and guild leader, and she was a druid, having no plan, and we just took her in. And soon she became like the main healer and coordinating all the healers. It was really fun. It was really, really fun.
And
Yeah, he was a
Yeah.
main tank too, and guild leader. I was a warlock class leader.
Cool.
Hmm.
And the
Well, there you
best
go.
story.
Let's get
sorry.
nerdy.
Yeah, let's get
yeah.
nerdy. The coolest story was Classic came out. And so my daughter was born while we were writing Molten Core and stuff in vanilla. And we took feeding breaks in the raid, and 40 people had to sit there and STFU and let my wife feed our daughter. Because without us, nothing would go forward. And we took like a break, and she was sitting there feeding her. One day she got like this pillow she could get around
the
her
nursing
belly.
pillows.
Yeah, the
Mhm.
nursing pillows, and she had her inside there and was still healing. It was really
Yep.
funny.
Wow.
And that was really crazy. But the coolest thing was when Classic came out, we got a third PC, and a lot of old people from that time came together, like from the first guild, and my best man also is coming from that time. He knows us like forever now. We made a third account, and that third account had a Tauren hunter. So I was again a Tauren warrior, she was again a Tauren druid, and it had a Tauren hunter, and we went online and we took her with us, and the character was called Raid Baby, because that was her nickname back in the days, and she actually started playing with us. People were like super flashed because like, oh my god, that is the little child that was in a nursing pillow while we were raiding Molten Core, and now she's in there ninja looting all the hunter gear.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really realize how old you are when you tell that story.
Oh yeah.
I know.
Yeah. Okay, so a thought I had with the name stuff, I've been thinking about it. There is like a divide of like people going like me and Björn, like Witness My Minis. I'm Peter working like I have Witnessed My Minis, and Björn has The Bear in the Brush, and like Emil has Squidmar, and like Brent has Goobertown Hobbies, but you are Zambies. That's your like persona. Was that a choice?
Yeah, so I think there's a disconnect where if you actually look, a lot of people are always like, "Oh, what's your name?" And I meet you and everything, and I always say the word persona. A lot of people think that it's not really me, but it's just me. It's just my name is Zambies. I am literally this squirrely in real life, and people attest to that. But if you look at all the men in the hobby and then all the women in the hobby, and even the women who use their real names, they might not actually be their real names. And a lot of times you don't realize that. And it's because unless you're super comfortable, sadly, there are still a lot of creeps on the internet. And for me, it was a choice because I have a family and kids. And I don't want to think about it, but I have gotten very unpleasant messages before. And I would just like to keep that personal life and my content creation life of all the people online separate. And I have met some really amazing people from this community and online, and I would hang out with them in real life and all of that. But sadly, you in a digital age with all these people and people getting doxxed and everything like that, I just feel safer having that disconnect there. And in case anything ever happens, I have a safety net. And it's mainly like it would be different if I didn't have a family. But for me, you know, having children and stuff, I just I like having that safety net.
Yeah. So like again, getting back to like a little more like serious stuff, but so my experience has always been like it's been like 100% positivity, like I got you, you're welcome. And like when I listened to your podcast, you had an episode where you discussed like the opposite of that, like the really harsh like truths of the hobby, like dark sides. And it was kind of heartbreaking, like getting to know that oh my god, this stuff is going on inside of my hobby too. I mean, I feel it is my hobby, and I hadn't stumbled upon that stuff, but I feel like it's correct me if I'm wrong, but Twitter is like I ain't that much on Twitter, but Twitter is more that side of it than like Instagram maybe. What would you say? Is it just the like where you hang out, or is it like is it a gender thing, or what do you think?
I think it's both. I think no matter what, and you know, I'm not going to say this to pick on anyone, but you know, being a white male, you're always going to have privilege over everybody else, and you know. It is. And, you know, I am a white presenting woman, so I am going to have privilege over other people as well. But when you have certain things kind of stacked against you as being a woman, person of color, gay, all of these things, whether, you know, disabled, if that's a correct term anymore, I apologize if it's not. I've heard multiple things, but yeah, you're always going to see the world differently than somebody else. And that's the same thing whether you live in this country or this country, and or your upbringing. Like I personally was kind of brought in a white trash upbringing, so I didn't have a lot of privilege compared to people who were brought up into like upper middle class. So how your life is, and the challenges you go through and the way other people perceive you is going to affect all of your situations, everything you get put into. But also curating your space, like Twitter, I don't use it that often, and anyone I have on my feed, I want on my feed, and if I don't want them on my feed, they're muted or they're unfollowed. Like, you putting yourself in those environments, look at them and be like, is this a place I want to be? Are these people I want in my space? If they're not people I want in my space, don't have them in your space. Yeah. Because like sometimes those people will invade your space, and I'm not telling anyone how to handle or process their like, you know, things that happen to them. But for me, block, cut out, bye. I don't want it. I'm not going to waste my time or energy on it. So that's how I, you know, create these happy environments for myself, and I stick with it. So if you're in Felicia. A situation, that's just because, you know, some people like drama. and they want to be around it, and that's fine, but that's not for me. So I don't want to be around it, and I'm like, life is too short. And if this is the only shot I got at it, I'm not having that. And here, this is already, woo! You know, you have good and up days with everyone's mental health. And I think if you surround yourself with good things, then it's going to help you.
Yeah.
I hope some of that made sense, because that was a total ramble.
Of course. Yeah, but and that said, I mean, as heartbreaking as it was listening to that episode, I mean, I really enjoyed the podcast. It was very. I think it was like I needed to hear it, and then there was like you had a lot of like fun on the episodes as well. So I really liked the episode, and I with when you try to go through the lore stuff of all of it, I suspect that people didn't. Am I correct in that assumption?
Probably. I hate to break your heart, but I hope you know that the podcast doesn't exist anymore.
I do.
But yeah,
I just wanted to. I know you know, throw you love some. It's you put a lot of work and heart into it, and I just wanted you to know that showed. Yeah.
Yeah, it was, you know, for what it was worth, there were fun times. And no matter what, if you like content and you think it's going to be fun and great, you never know how people are going to perceive it. And I think at that point, we knew that this might just bomb. And yeah, that's fine. You have to be realistic about it.
If you ever feel like you need another podcast in your life, this door is always open.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna come crash it.
We gladly take you in and maybe give you a bowl of soup and it's
I like
PaintWater soup, but
a bowl of grains.
Good soup.
Yeah, grains and PaintWater soup. It's what we can offer you. You just said safety net, and I just wanted to add one stupid thing to that. If you're in Germany and you're having a website, this often goes for authors and small companies and small content creators like me. You are obligated to put your address, because this would be your business address, on your website.
Oh.
Which is totally fucked up. And there are small services that offer like a drop shipping address, so that you are able to keep your address off the internet. But this is a gray area. You could be, if someone would sue you, they could force you to put your real address on your website. This is really fucked up, because if you say anything someone doesn't agree with, let's say, for example, I have a stupid fan, and he would not be okay with having you on the podcast. He would just have the ability to show up at my door and ruin my day, and that's scary. So stupid. That's really scary. That's why I'm using one of those services, and I prefer to risk a small fine or whatever, just not to have my address on the internet.
Yeah. Especially since you have a family, and that's really crazy. And I don't know how it is in Germany, but I hope you guys are a lot safer than in America, because yay, America! You know, I don't trust Americans not to show up at my door and be batshit crazy.
Well, in my neighborhood, I am the batshit crazy person, because I'm the one with a loud ass Harley and a lot of guns.
Are guns legal there?
Yeah, of course, but you have to do.
I don't know. I just like freedom, you know.
You have to jump a lot of hoops. You have to jump a lot of hoops to be a legal shooter in Germany, which I am totally fine with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I prefer that. It's better than going to a Walmart and getting a Glock.
Yeah. I'm not anti-gun by any means, but I'm pro having guns in the right people's hands and making sure that people are going about it in a safe manner. Like I don't dislike guns, but I just prefer that not any Joe Schmo with a grudge can go buy one in like 24 hours, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Sorry, we got on a political topic.
Yeah,
No,
we did.
that's
we did,
totally
yeah.
that's totally all right. I could tell the really inappropriate story of naming my WoW oats, but I keep that for the after party.
Oh, tell me later.
I will. It's really inappropriate. But I would like, if that's okay for you, I would like to ask you for 2 stories.
Okay.
And if you don't want to do one of them, that's totally fine with me. But
But the other two you have to do. Yeah, that's what we
no,
had.
the other one will be fun to do. So the first one would be, I would love to hear your scariest, worst, strangest story that happened to you in the hobby, and the other one would be the total opposite, like the coolest, most heartwarming thing that happened to you in this hobby. Like, I want to see the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Oh, okay. Scariest.
Or worst, or dumbest, or stupidest. People being total jackasses or whatever. Like the stupidest thing that happened to you, and of course the most wonderful thing that happened to you.
I think I've just seen a lot of shit in my life that, like, a lot of things don't faze me. So, I don't think that's a good thing. But yeah, I mean, every once in a while, I still just get gatekeepy asshole comments on things. So I just, like I said, I just kind of, I don't let that absorb, like, get into my skin. I just kind of like vent and let it out. So I've always will get things like someone told me I was ruining the hobby by being in it.
Oh.
That's nice. But I think the most creepiest thing is when I first created a Facebook account, because I hate Facebook. I use it just for content creation, and I just don't like it because, and it's not the platform, it's the people. It just seems to be more toxic in the comment section than any other one. And I don't know why people just like, you know, I think I read somewhere that it was like, if you ever ask for advice, go on the comment section and then comment something wrong, because people don't want to help, but they love to prove other people wrong. And I feel like that's Facebook. That's, everyone has a degree in something. But yeah, when I first created one and I started adding people from the hobby, and I didn't know everyone in their real names versus who was online. So I was like, all right, there's no personal information on my Facebook, so anyone can be my friend. It's not a big deal. And I swear to God, I got like, I had maxed out on all my friend requests, and then my DMs were just so many people hitting on me. And it was weird because it says I'm married in my thing, but and there were just some comments that were like, well, this is really inappropriate. Like, you get the whole like, hey, and I'm like, all right, you shot your shit. It's fine. I'm not mad. But there were just like some very inappropriate things you shouldn't be saying to somebody. So yeah. That I'm not even going to repeat because I just delete those messages. No, I don't care.
Just delete them.
But yeah, that was the biggest thing. And I just kind of chalk that up to just creepy guys on the internet in general. So I don't take these experiences and let them taint the hobby for me, because it's not the hobby that's like the issue. It's those creepy people who are. And that's just the way I see it.
Yeah.
But yeah. And so now that was the bad. Let's go to the good, right?
Yes.
Some good, please.
I think the thing that stuck in my mind the most was just experiencing Adepticon and getting into this hobby right before COVID hit, and not having a lot of like friends where I lived at the time. I lived in Florida. I escaped, thank God. Sorry if you're in Florida, but I have harsh feelings about that state.
Oh damn.
So I'm back in the Chicagoland, and I have met some more people locally, which is nice, but this is the first time I got to meet hobby people in the flesh, in the meat space, and hang out with them and just be stupid and arty and nerdy with everyone. And it was so amazing to soak that up. And and this is an embarrassing story, along with it also being the greatest part of that story is getting to meet Kaha, if you know who she is.
Yeah. Amazing.
She won a silver golden demon, by the way. Yes, for the ladies. But we locked eyes and I went to go say hi to her and she knew who I was. And I literally, because she knew who I was, I went into fangirl mode. And I couldn't speak. And I was like, I usually don't fangirl over anyone, but I was just like, I'm so happy. I love her work. And she was one of the first miniature painters I had ever seen work from when I got into the hobby. And such a sweet person. And I literally said to her, I have to walk away because I'm being totally awkward right now, but it's so nice meeting you. But she told me that it was so nice to see other women in the hobby. And to me, that just meant a lot because if you're someone who isn't a like major minority in this hobby, you and having a presence, whether you know it or not, you know, could be affecting somebody else in a really good way. You know, that's what inclusivity is.
Yay. Cool story. I'm really like all the Adepticon stuff that got out recently. So jealous. So like, I really feel that I found friends in the hobby, and I haven't met anybody. So like all my friends that's into Warhammer, they can't paint for shit. So I'm really I'm really like looking forward to meet Björn and like people in the future. So hopefully going to like Adepticon or something. Really jealous of that. I saw the picture, like the picture of you and Sam Lenz. Did you know each other before? I feel like I've heard something about that.
Yeah. Sam and I are friends. He's an awesome dude. He was actually one of the first miniature painters I met on the digital space in the hobby, and I think I've been following his work probably since December of 2019, something like that. But I just like when I first met him through Twitch, I joined his chat and he is literally one of the most nice, down to earth people ever. He was so inviting and so helpful when I started in this like community that stuck with me forever. So I think of him as a really good friend. He's awesome. It was so nice to hang out with him at Adepticon. He let me sit in on one of his classes. He is a phenomenal teacher. So if you get to take a class by him, I definitely recommend it.
The stuff he puts out it's crazy. I mean the big dude he
Gazelle.
Yeah.
Oh, seeing that in person. I got to see it in person. Yeah.
Whoa. Yeah.
All the freehand and every little nurgling at the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
His craftsmanship, really
it's
good.
It's awesome. Yeah. He has a really distinct style too, and I really appreciate that with light painters that it feels like the great ones they found their like niche and their do you feel like you have a style yet? Could you say that?
Yes and no. Yeah, I mean everyone has their own style. I think the problem is most people don't realize their own style. They don't see it. And I think as everyone else, when I started out, I was trying to paint a certain way to look like everybody else's, or like, oh, this style, and I want to paint to that. And then now I just realize that apparently people see my piece and they're like, oh, that's a Zambies. And I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna paint. I'm gonna paint, and the way it comes out is the way it comes out, and that's mine. And I think a lot of people always say, like, I'm colorful, but I'm also dark. And I think that's, probably my personality. Like, I look
Colorful and
all
dark,
dark. I have dark humor, but I'm also
Yeah.
very bubbly and colorful. And I like teetering between that. So I like, taking cute and bubbly things and making it creepy, or taking creepy things and making it look happy.
Yeah.
I like the best of both worlds.
Cool.
I just threw up this nice little miniature on screen for people to see, and that is one of the things you recently painted, and that's for Rivenstone, right?
Yep. Yeah, they actually they contacted me, and I did a paid sponsorship one-off through them to help promote their new game. It's from Broken Anvil Miniatures, and they did a Kickstarter for a new tabletop game called Rivenstone, and I like it because the concept artist actually, I think, used to work for Blizzard. So for me,
Yeah.
it was like that
Cool.
nostalgia where, like, a lot of the characters, especially the orcs, remind me of WoW, and they know that, and they're playing to that nice kind of cartoony like style.
Yeah.
And I saw this piece because they let me pick which miniature to paint, and I was like, I'm getting a battle kitty. Because in WoW, like, you gotta collect the mounts and you gotta collect the pets. And this guy had both, and he was an orc, and I'm like, yes, I'm in love. So I picked him to paint.
Cool.
How do you enjoy this is the new Siocast Heart, right?
Yeah.
What do you think about the material?
Well, one, it is Zambi tested and improved because I tend to drop and break a lot of
Ooh.
models. And the first thing I did after taking this out is literally fling something across the floor. But it's very durable. It's flexible. And I did not break anything. That's amazing. But I like it. It's a little unique to get used to when you're cleaning off the mold lines. And if you're really used to GW models and their type of plastic where you can just like sand bits and stuff, you have to be more careful with that.
Okay.
With this, because it's a softer material. But for gaming wise, and the detail on it, I really do like it. I think you just kind of like getting a new paint or something. You have to figure out how it works and how to use it properly. But yeah, I like the material.
So, is it better than normal Siocast? That's the new hard stuff. Is it better than the normal Siocast?
Yeah, I would say so, in my opinion. And what you use it for the gaming pieces and stuff like this, yeah.
You heard it here first. Zambies approved.
I said it, so it's law. No, I'm just kidding.
So we were talking about Adepticon, right? So
There we go.
I'm just throwing on some pictures from your Instagram account here, meeting all those stupid people, making stupid faces, and
Yep.
oh yeah, you met a lot of people.
Yeah, it was so much. It was so crazy because I didn't stay there. I traveled because I live about an hour away. And next year I'm just going to stay there because traveling was not.
Nice.
But my kids were in school and all of that. So I would travel a half day here and there. Saturday, I think I spent the full day there. But it was exhausting to do that and meet everybody. And everyone had just come out of being hermits from being in COVID land. And we were all like, oh my God, people. It was a lot. I think for like 2 weeks after that, I had to recharge my batteries.
Did you go to Fort Wapple?
I did. Sadly, the one thing I regret is I didn't get to stay there and paint because I severely underestimated the amount of people who would recognize me and want to talk to me. Because I would walk in and I'd want to do something, and I got pulled in so many different directions. They'd be like, Zambies! And I'd stay in chat, and then somebody else would walk by and be like, Zambies! And so it was awesome. It was such a great time. I have no negative experience whatsoever from Adepticon. It's just it was a lot to take in, and now I'm better
Yeah.
prepared for next year.
Do you have like did you know like Kathy and James before?
Yeah, well, we don't live that far away from each other,
Oh,
but
okay.
we didn't like connect. The cool thing about being a content creator and Twitch is a lot of those people have Twitches, and they like Kathy. I know Kathy more than James,
Yep.
just because Kathy's a little freakier, so her and I just connect.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's nice to get to talk to those people, and you can raid in and just hang out in their streams.
Yeah.
And so you kind of break the ground before you walk in. And for a lot of those people, it didn't feel any different meeting them in person than it would be to talk to them online. It's just that their face wasn't behind a screen and I could actually like touch it.
James is like, like I watched so many streams, but he never shows his face. So so like when there was like pictures of him, like, oh, there he is. Like,
that was the one thing I didn't know it was him at first until he was next to Kathy, because I know Kathy and her beautiful face, but yeah, I never looked up what James looked like. I was just like, I'm gonna meet him.
The only thing like I knew beforehand was that the little mini he has like painted like his mascot, and it's like, so okay, so he has like a ponytail. That's what I know. Yeah, but he's like, I love his streams. He's he's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, you put up the butterfly, I see, Björn.
Yeah, I never had the chance to actually talk to you about this piece, and it was really high rated in the discussion.
Yes, it was
between the judges, and I had the feeling that we never really got back to you about it, because there were so many people that sent in stuff. But I just wanted, I bet you've talked to Peter before, but I just wanted to say thank you for taking part in this wonderful endeavor, and I heard and saw that you promoted the competition on your streams, and I just wanted to say personally that I'm really thankful for that, helping out my dude here, and that this piece really touched me, and I think it's a really beautiful idea, and I personally was a bit sad that it didn't score higher in the ranking. But the amount of stuff coming into that competition was totally bonkers.
It was, yes.
And I had to make the decision to prefer someone I know or do honest ratings, and I went for the honest ratings. But it broke my heart I couldn't give you any of the trophies.
No, that's like... For this piece, honestly, this hit on multiple levels. And one is the story. Like, I'm going to try not to be like all, I'm emotional female right now. But, you know, it really hit me. One, you know, the mental health awareness. I am big on that. I'm promoting it, the family story. And I don't know if you've read the bit, like, butterflies are symbolic for me for another reason.
Yeah.
So like that, you know, that kind of hit home. And I love helping out in the community. I'm always a sucker for charity. And I really wanted to help promote this. And that piece to me came at a kind of a difficult time in my life. And I was actually struggling with painting. And I was going through kind of a burnt out area where I didn't want to paint at all. So I decided to build instead. Yeah. So that piece isn't really painted to as well as I could have painted, or my craftsmanship and my technique. And I didn't care. It was more about being expressive. So I built that book and all the little blocks and the green stuff, and those little butterflies are little acrylic nail butterflies that I primed, and I painted each one.
Yeah.
And so all of that
crazy.
to me was more
Nice.
about just the act of creating something and telling a story, less than making something as beautifully technically painted. And I've seen the pieces in that competition, so I'm not bummed about winning anything at all. I
Oh.
mean, the only thing I'm bummed about is I would have loved to have something that Roman created, but that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so from me as well, of course, we've talked some about it, but I mean, like everything coming out of it, it was kind of overwhelming, of course. But your piece in particular were, how to say it? It was one of the few pieces that wasn't. It was one of the few pieces that were happy. If you yeah, like most of them were like dark, but with the butterfly like a pinch of hope or something of that nature. But yours really tickled like a fairy tale. And that said, of course, I shared every piece, I shared every story with my family, and yours, of course, translate very well to people outside of the hobby. So like showing that to my mom, she, of course, that was one of her favorites as well. So yeah, you should know that. Yeah.
Does she want it?
We can, yeah.
I'll give it to her.
I understand. It's
No.
I've like people have like asked me. I can never say no, of course, but I can never like force anybody or anything. I'm like, yeah. It's been so
Dude.
so like, yeah.
I know
Dude.
that, but give me your address.
It's for your mom. It's not for you.
Yeah.
No,
Did you-
I created
yeah.
that as an art piece. Like it was just meant to be an expressive piece of
Yeah.
beautiful art. And I
Like
think
I
letting
don't know
that
if you've
go
seen
in the
it.
world is
Yeah.
the biggest thing ever. To have
Yeah.
someone else enjoy it.
I will give you his address. He can't do nothing about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't let him hear that.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean it was so like, okay, so we stumbled onto this now, but like we like there was a girl in France that she hadn't like she had nothing to do with like miniature painting at all, and she like I paint in watercolors and I really want to paint something for your mom. Like she painted this amazing like watercolor art, and she sent it. Like people have been amazing. So yeah, and I suspect nothing less of you. So yeah, thank you for even the thinking of it. Yeah.
We
Okay.
will talk about that later. He's
We'll talk
emotional
later.
now.
No,
Yeah.
I got it. Like I'm gonna let it go because I don't want to put him on the spot.
Yeah.
No,
But
I will do it
mean,
for you, no-
you see,
no worries.
you see it over here. I mean, there's always there. So yeah.
Yeah. That is such a heartwarming story, and I want to switch to the next one. Let's do heartwarming stories because I, for myself, I have a dog lying here under my table, and that's a Labrador Husky mix. His name is Loki, and Loki was given away at 9 months from a family that were totally. This dog was all over the head. They had no chance of taming him. He was a catastrophe when we got him, but he's like he jumped through a barbed wire fence. He was hit. That was under my supervision. He was hit by a car, and the only thing that happened was a dent in the car. He is. My friends call him Loki Ironside, like Björn Ironside from Vikings,
Yeah.
because this dog is fucking indestructible, but he's like the most stubborn beast on this planet. But he's a rescue. We took him in before he went to the shelter. The other one called Ellie. Ellie is a mix of everything. We made a gene test with her, and there's like everything in that dog. She's half his weight. She's really shy, and if we wouldn't have taken her in, she would have been shredded. Yes, she's from a Croatian killing station, because in Croatia there are no street dogs. They all get wrapped together and then they just kill them off. She was out there with her, I would say, husband and a lot of puppies. They just threw them out the house. We think she had a home before because she knows things like TVs and toilets and noises and cars and whatever. But we took her in. We had 1.5 years of making her, transforming her into a normal dog. She's still afraid of some stuff, but she's, instead of this guy, yeah, you can't take him off the leash, because if he sees something shiny, he's off. He doesn't even give a signal. He's like, gotta go. She's walking without a leash perfectly. Still afraid of men. She loves me, but only if I'm sitting or lying. If I'm standing, she hates me. If I sit down, she's up on my lap. If I'm lying down, she's right next to me. That's the story of my dogs. But you have a wonderful rescue dog as well. And I love dog stories.
Wherever she is.
Wherever she is.
Over there. She's, yeah. She's, so that's Jade, and we kept her real name just because green's my favorite color. I thought it was a beautiful name. We're going to keep Jade, not confuse her. They said she was about 1.5 when we adopted her. And it was on a mommy Facebook group in the area where another mother needed to get rid of her because their living situation changed, and they downsized to an apartment. And Jade is a German Shepherd, so they're not the great apartment dogs. And everyone was complaining, and it was either get rid of the dog or get evicted. So they were going to take her to the shelter. And I'm glad that we did take her, because I was like, all right, well, let's go check her out and see if she's good with the kids. Because we kind of were thinking about a dog, but we weren't sold on one yet. And because there are a lot of responsibility, and I felt like she just kind of fell into our lap. Because a lot of people, when they see German Shepherds and purebreds, they can get grabbed up very quickly. And I usually prefer mutts, but I know that my partner loves German Shepherds, and I know they're really good family dogs. So we went to check her out, and she was like, we got out of the car, and she immediately cowered and was a little standoffish, and the kids got out of the car, and she just went right up to them and I could not ask for a better dog. Like, I don't know if I'll ever get a better dog that is so good with children. My son will literally go up and just like shove his hand in her mouth to grab something. And I'm like, please don't do that. But she doesn't care. Like, she just has no like aggressive to children whatsoever. But they didn't tell us that she has major separation anxiety. So on the whole way home, she sat on my lap. This big German Shepherd sat on my lap. And if you don't know, I'm 5'2". I don't know what that is outside of American measurements. But I'm short. And if she stands, she's probably about, So she sat on my lap the whole way home. And I guess that like clicked that I am now her person. And she is my shadow. Everywhere I go, if I leave, she will sit by the door until I come back. Aww. She will panic and whine and major anxiety about things. It took her, she does not like men either. It took her about 3 months for my partner to take her outside on a leash to go to the bathroom. Only I was allowed to do it. She wouldn't. She wouldn't go with him. She just does not like trust men or anything. I'm very certain that she was abused by the lady's boyfriend at the time, and therefore she does not trust men. She's great with children. She's pretty good with women, you know. But she's great with other dogs, and I just think that if someone else would have taken her and been like, wow, this dog is high maintenance, or if she was in a shelter in that type of environment, she might have been put down or not rehabilitated depending on the shelter. And it makes me sad to think about, but you know, she's a great dog. It's just, I understand because I also have anxiety and I know how crazy I can be in certain situations. So
yeah. So if you want to know precisely, you are in not hot dogs per football field measurements.
freedom links. Yeah.
You are 185.5 centimeters.
That sounds bigger. I like that.
Yeah. So I just wanted to look up if there's maybe just flying over Instagram. Nope, no dog pictures, just miniatures.
There, early on, there was some. I mean, I could just tempt her to come up here right now.
Now she's sleeping. We don't want to wake up sleeping dogs, you know?
Yeah, that's why you have a bag of treats.
Oh, yeah.
Treats are...
Hi, sweetie. Come on. You're so good, girl.
Aww.
That is such a big head. Mom. Oh yeah, oh. He heard treats. So
sorry.
my dog normally just reacts to German words, but he also just learned the word Arbeit. Arbeit means work. And if I say I have this, I need to mute this because it will go off then. If I say, Echo, turn on stream lights. I have some lights that are controlled by Echo when I want to stream stuff. And if he hears that downstairs, he's coming up because he knows he's going under my desk. He has a special camera. Wait, I have to... I think you've seen it on the stream maybe, but I can just do... this, and there he is. And then if someone follows me, this will happen.
Aww.
They're smart. They know. Like her, as soon as I sit down and start talking, she's like, oh, it's stream time. Because if she shows herself, then my chat redeems for dog treats. And she just loves it. She's like, yeah, I'm going to milk them for everything.
And that's what I want to do too. That's the main reason why I want to get to affiliate, because I then can use channel points, and they will be able to spend channel points on streets.
Do it for the dogs, everybody.
Yeah, that's the main reason why I want to reach affiliate, so I can build stupid stuff to incorporate my dogs into the stream.
Yes.
That's amazing. So the smaller one, the rescue from Croatia, she found out what's going on in here, and now sometimes
the jig is up.
She sneaks in too to be like fed treats like like a maniac. she's actually like throwing her head in just to get him out of the way. I want that treat. Yeah, we had a lot of serious topics, we had a lot of fun topics, but what I would really like to know is someone going into the hobby, and I have seen people being in the hobby for 20 years, and they paint like shit. I have seen people 1 year into the hobby, like this crazy dude with me in the chat here, and you with your 3 years, you are both on a, for what I would say, a really high level. I know there's people that are like creating art like Michelangelo on the roof of the church and stuff, like blends that look like they were painted in Photoshop. They do that with a brush. I'm fine with that. But people often say you don't need talent, you just need to learn the techniques. Other people say no, if you don't, you can be just talented and it will come naturally. What it's your what, then people will say no. If you paint on a canvas, it looks shit, but you can be a great mini painter. There's so much controversy with talent versus skills and stuff, and I would like to hear your hot take on that.
Oh yeah, this is a hot take because everyone has their 2 cents for this. And I've heard a lot, and it's I think it's a little bit of both. And I think there are people who have just pure talent and skill to do things, and then there are people who can get there just more by effort. And I don't think you should ever pin yourself against anything, because everybody is going to have their own talent and ability to pick up on something a lot quicker than others. And, if that is miniature painters and you're like, okay, I'm going to start painting, and you just have a natural ability for it to click and it's painting, that's awesome. But if you want to get to that level and you have to put more time and effort into it because it's not naturally clicking, I don't think that that person will just be a shitty painter for the rest of their life. That's not, that's not how it works. There's plenty of people out there who kind of plateau, or I'm comfortable with this level of painting. I don't need to take it higher. And that's fine. If that's where you want to stay, this is a hobby. We have to remember this is a hobby. Yeah. So if you're enjoying it, what you're doing, no matter how it looks to somebody else, it's your hobby. You don't have to be good at it. Who cares? If you're going competition wise and you're like, oh, this person's piece is amazing, and they only spent like 20 hours and I spent like 60 on mine, and it's not as up as that, then you have to be okay with that, and it's fine, because not everybody is Michael Jordan. But it doesn't mean that you still can't be a great basketball player. You have to know that there are always going to be certain masters at things, and I'm sure there are plenty of things that Michael Jordan sucks at that you might be good at. So everyone wants to put certain people on pedestals and stuff like that. And the one thing that kind of I get is I have a degree in graphic design, and yes, there's that background. I do have small classes I've taken in fine arts, which is just design principles. I've never had painting classes where this is how you blend, and this is I haven't had those like fine art skills that some people have had before getting into miniatures. But I do get that a lot, like, oh, you have a background in art and that's why you're good. And I get it. I get why they say it. It makes sense, but also it's a little bit of like a sore subject to me, because all you're doing is saying, oh, well, you have this natural talent, therefore you didn't work as hard, or you don't have skills. Like you don't see all the time, all the thinking and everything I put in, and I'm still painting and, trying to create something. And by you saying that someone just has a natural ability and it comes easier to them kind of is a little bit insulting. Yeah. When you say, oh, well, that's why you're good. Like, we all, yes, it may come a little easier. Okay, I have a leg up. Cool. But it doesn't mean, oh, well, I didn't put any time and effort into it. So,
yeah, that's the thing with like, oh, so like when I had like my 1 year anniversary, I put like up a pic of, this is the first mini I painted. This is the newest. And people are like, 1 year? And like, yeah, but you have no idea how many hours during that year that I've put in on this hobby. I mean, it's insane how many hours that I've been painting. But it's because it's fun. I mean, that's the core of it. So, yeah. Like on that topic, did you have like any epiphanies of like moments that it clicked for you? Like, oh, this is how I'm going to do it forward, and like, yeah, any of those moments?
Yeah, I've had a few moments. I think the biggest one for me was realizing that this is a hobby. This is, and a lot of people are going to say, oh, it's not an art form. Yes, if you're just painting, quick speed painting to get pieces on the model just for the tabletop, I get it. But to me, this is an art form. Whether someone wants to say it's not, I say it is, so they're wrong. But that's why I call myself a miniature artist alongside miniature painting. And I think there was a point where I was like, I got to stop trying to paint to a certain quality that I see everyone else painting and start finding my own quality and like developing my own style and what I like and just painting to what I think looks good. Yeah. And so I will look at techniques and I will try techniques, but I will not try them to master them in the way that I see other people doing for these certain types of, you know, I don't say it not as a dirty word, but box art and, you know, certain ways where everyone wants this certain smooth airbrush quality blend. Can I do it? Sure. Do I want to? Not always. Like, no,
yeah.
Just paint and make a happy piece. So what it looks like. And so that was the point where I was like, I don't have to be like everybody else. I just need to be like me.
Yeah. So what pieces, like, if you had to, like, if you get a commission, do you usually like get like strict guidelines, or is it like free control, like paint whatever? Do they often like hire you for you, or is it?
I've only just begun doing commissions. I've done pieces in the past that were commissions, but they were through like art swaps where I've done things. I love doing art swaps where it's you give me a piece of your artwork and I'll give you a piece of my artwork. And it's not always miniature painters. I've gotten Dio, who is a community member. He's a leather worker and he made me a custom dice bag. Nice. And I love it. So doing things like that is amazing. But every piece I've gotten so far has all been, we like your art. There, you know, no real restraints, just I want your style, have at it. So that's been really nice. Also with my commissions though, is I have like very kind of strict guidelines, whereas like I paint to my standard. I don't, like a lot of people have like tabletop standard display. I'm like, no, I'm going to paint the model to where I'm happy with it, to the quality I'm happy with. And I don't paint armies because I hate batch painting. I'm not gonna paint your army. I'll paint like one models, like an HQ or something like that. But I don't find joy outside of my own war bands to be painting other people's like all the same. I prefer one model to just do something with it, crazy, unique, totally go on to something else.
Yeah.
So let's say
with
someone...
that said, should I go?
Yeah, you go.
That's. I just wanted to the different brands. I mean, you painted them all, right? You painted like GW stuff. Have you painted like KDM?
Yep, I've painted some KDM. I have a bunch back there that eventually I'll get to, but the only I picked up a creature caster model from at Adepticon, and that's the first one I've ever painted, which I haven't painted it yet, but that's on my chopping block. And I've always wanted to paint one, so I like getting that's the thing with me and my range is I'm not just stuck on GW. You know, I will paint anything and everything that catches my eye.
Yeah. That's like actually I think for me that was the reason for getting into commissions, just to like I only play Warhammer, so I want to paint like everything else. So people started like sending stuff, and I think that's like the only reason that I actually like kept going and evolving, because I didn't paint the same stuff. So like, yeah, and I really like enjoy like KDM and other games too. There's also different. Do you have any favorites?
I don't play KDM, but I do like their models. A lot of the times I like, for me, miniature painting is more in the art aspect and the not as much in the gaming, even though I've gotten more into the tabletop. Everything has been digital lately. I don't really have a lot of people who are near me that play. Hopefully this summer that's changing, because I got contact, wrong word, with people in my area and trying to find local shops. There's a Warhammer store not too far from me, so hopefully I can set up some tables and some games with people. So that would be really nice. But everything I've played, like D&D and role-playing, has all been digital, because you play with people from all over, and it's really hard to get them in one room. So the miniatures I paint don't really get to be moved around.
Yeah, but if you had like if you had to like pick one like brand or game to paint for, what would it be? Would it be like Warhammer, or would it be more busts, 3D like 3D prints, or would it be KDM, or where would you fall?
Ooh, that's tough.
Yeah.
I like KDM. I like their sculpts. I don't like building their miniatures, and they are very fragile. So I am sorry for you. They would be out just because of that. Like, it's just too tiny. It's too tiny. I need something bigger.
I hate building, so yeah, I'm totally with you.
Yeah. Ooh, that's
Send
so
it to
tough.
me built. I can paint it.
Oh man, that's hard, because I feel like it depends on what mood I'm in, because busts and all the unlimited possibilities from 3D printing stuff is too tempting. Versus any miniature company out there. Like, you can't even touch that. Like, if you were to just go, you can only print 3D printed models anymore, then there's like the limits. There are none. But if I were to go with like an actual straight company, it would probably be, I would say, Games Workshop, just because they have such a range.
Yeah.
And on the fantasy side, like, I'm sorry, but you know, outside of like, you know, Nurgle, 40K doesn't really tickle my fancy for models. Like, yeah, totally get you. Like, fancy all the way. Yeah.
So let's say someone would be coming up with the idea that they really want a Zambies piece in their collection. Where would they need to go?
So right now my commissions are only open to my Patreons, just because I don't know how crazy my summer is going to be with kids home. But when I open to the public, I'll make an announcement on my socials. I just started it very slow to ease into it. Or you can offer me something and be like, I'll trade you this, and then I'll pick something out of my cabinet, and you're welcome to have that.
Nice.
Because I only paint for me, really. So like, every piece I have just gets put in my cabinet. Outside of, I've sold a few just from like private collectors who have won things.
Nice. Did you have I interrupted you, Björn. Did you have a question?
Please continue. I need to do some cabling stuff, because I want to hear
the tech.
I want to hear Zambi's thoughts about a piece of mine. If I got her here, I need to ask her stuff.
Well, you're here.
Yeah. So while Björn looks that up, this next question is really tough. It isn't a miniature related one, but if you had to rank the following, how would you rank them? Okay, so here we go. Candy, ice cream, like Cinnabons, or like baked goods, or snacks like chips or popcorn. Rank 'em.
Ooh. Okay, when you say candy, do you mean like hard candies or do you mean chocolates and stuff?
Like all of them, like chocolates, hard candies, like gummy bears, like candy. So
Okay,
there's
because I'm generally not a big candy person, but I love like dark chocolate.
okay.
So like if you throw the candy out and you're just like chocolate, then I'll take that. For me, it would be like the snacks at top because I prefer like the salty over the sweet. So that would be top. Baked goods is definitely number 2 because I'm a baker. I love baking stuff and like muffins and breads. Yes. I just made banana bread last night.
I love getting baked too. What?
Whoa.
Is it legal in Germany?
Of course. Wait, what are we? We're talking about muffins, right?
I was going to say, because I live in a legal place, so I can say that.
Yeah. Muffins are legal here. We were just talking about muffins.
Yes, muffins.
Dear CIA, FBI, German police, we were talking about muffins.
Yeah, then I would probably say ice cream. But ice cream could have chocolate in it. So, yeah, we're going to go with that. I'll always find loopholes. And then we'll go with the candy at the bottom.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Not the right answers, but it's okay.
Damn.
Burgers or pizza?
Ooh, pizza. Definitely pizza.
Good choice. So, I am going to show you my favorite painted piece that I've made. It's actually the best piece I ever painted. I haven't found any piece
setting like the bar very high now. What do you think she's going to say? She's going to break your heart, mate.
It's your favorite piece, and I'm going to tear it to shreds.
Yes, please do. It would be totally fine with that. But everyone I know that seen my pieces told me this is the best thing you ever painted. But I want like an open-minded thought about this piece. This is hard because you're a nice person. There it is. That is my personal masterpiece.
So first, and this has nothing to do with your piece, but one thing I've learned in this hobby is, as coming from a commercial arts background, critiques are something that just happens. And then rule number 1, they always tell you, separate yourself from your artwork. Because you can't take anything personal. If the client wants something and they say, no, they don't like this, you just have to be like, whatever, and change it. And it has nothing to do with you and your ability. So while going into that, when someone gives me critiques on my miniatures, I never take anything personally. I have found that a lot of people don't do that. They don't have their separation.
Yeah.
And when I'm glad that you're asking, because a lot of times people will put their artwork out there and someone wants to chime in and start giving a critique and that person doesn't like it because they didn't ask for it. So yeah, a lot of people don't know. You should probably ask whether someone's open to having a critique or not, because some people can't handle having critiques.
So true.
So now back to your artwork.
Let's tear it apart.
Yeah, dude, fuck it up.
I always ask, are you looking for feedback on certain parts of the model or just a general overview?
Just a general overview. I know a lot of issues on this model, and I am working on them. But this one won me 3rd place in a small competition. And I would just love some overall feedback, like mood, vibe, maybe some execution. That would be great.
So first off, I like that it's very colorful, and it looks like you've got a general lighting that is coming direct down into the face area here. So you have a very good the highlights and the brightness, everything is clear. So the orange, I love the metal I'm trying to also look at this at a tiny screen space.
Sorry.
So no, that's fine. So I'm looking at it over the like I like your colors. You've got a lot of vibrant colors, which sometimes can get very distracting. But I think you have everything very well broken up, where you have like the blues and the hair, and tied that down into the necklace. You have a very clear focus point. I was trying to think of that word. Dang. The only thing that stands out to me that could probably use improvement is actually the green on the shirt. And I think that the purple is done very well. But trying to look at this, I don't know if I can tell like the texture on there, if it looks kind of I don't know, not as blended as the other aspects of the model. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's I always struggle with smoothness, and the green was really being a bitch about it.
Yeah, so there's a thing. If you can't get it smooth, then play to texture.
Yeah.
So I think the textures would have looked very nice in there if you maybe got a little bit more highlights in some area, like push the contrast, or just like there's this thing in design which I think you can apply to miniatures too, is when you teeter on something where you either have it perfect or you push it too far, or you push it far enough in the other directly. If it looks a little off, that's what usually bothers humans. Like if two pieces are too close together and they're not touching or they're not crossing over, if they're just, it creates like a tension there.
Yeah.
So if you want to texturize it, push it more into the texture zone. Or if you want it smooth, go as technically flawless as you can in the smooth. And when you have it in the mid zone, if you don't do it right, something's just gonna create that awkwardness.
Cool. That is some really, really nice feedback without hurting my feelings.
I like the hair though. I'm always a sucker for like the very vibrant hair.
I was playing a lot of Final Fantasy 15 when I painted that piece, and I think it showed through. And I want to get back. I just put that out because I want to get back to a topic we had earlier on, and that is painting minis and painting on canvas and stuff. And I have the feeling that if you have a really good sculpt, you can actually paint the mini or whatever you're painting pretty well because the sculpt is working for you. Have you experienced that where you just this is working for me, this is pushing my ability, or this miniature is like really blocking me in my creativity because it's sculpted so stupid?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's obviously a saying, and I'm sure you have one in Germany, is you can't, polish a turd. And that's the thing, like if there's a really bad model and it's not like, there are some people, if you take the time and you have the skill, you can make it look decent. But if it's a really bad quality, there's only so much you can do with it. And you're not going to get the best results because the sculpt is like, you're going to do too much work and putting all that effort in there. Yes, some people can make things look pretty decent, but you're still not going to get the same quality in a very bad little D&D miniature that you're going to get in a very nice bust.
True.
I think the things that I love about busts is if it's a beautiful sculpt, you can do so little and so much with it as you want. So you can play to the fact that there's this lovely canvas and just paint it simply and beautifully and it'll come out nice. Or you can push it and you can do texturizing, freehanding, you can go crazy and it still can look really nice. So I think, and at the same time, anyone who probably doesn't care or isn't at the same quality can also take a very good sculpt and make it look bad. So it's on both ends. That
The
also
dirt
being
marine.
said, there's one thing that I didn't say before I wanted to mention. When you mentioned like canvas painting, there's also this disconnect where a lot of people think if you're really good at one art form, you're going to be really good at another.
Yeah.
And that's not true because every art form, while always using the basic principles of art and design, will need different tools and learning how to use them, and paints will react different ways. You could be a really good watercolorist but not know how to handle acrylics and not like them whatsoever. You know, it's a different tool. That's like saying, oh, well, it's all machines. If I'm a mechanic and I am really good with cars, I will know how to fix a computer. That's not how it works. You know, yes, you can apply things to it and you could get the knowledge and be really good at it. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that it's going to come naturally and one art form is going to transfer over into the other art form.
Yeah.
That's why
That
I try
said,
to
did
encourage
you-
people. Sorry.
No worries. Yeah, you go.
Oh, sorry. This is the stupid thing when you're working over the internet. There's this stupid delay, and you think people are done, and then you talk over each other. We are still working on that one, especially me, because I'm doing it all the time. Peter's fine, but it's all my fault.
No.
So this is why I encourage people to try mini painting. If people tell me I can't paint for shit, I tell them, yeah, I can't either. If I paint something on a piece of paper or on a canvas, it looks like a 3-year-old got drunk and threw paint around. And then puked all over the canvas and painted some more. That's what my paintings look like. But painting on a miniature is a really good creative outlet for me, which I could actually learn, which didn't block me as hard as trying to paint on canvas or on paper. And that is why I try to encourage people to use miniature painting as a creative outlet, because for me it was easier to learn than painting on anything else.
The thing with that is the reason I love miniatures, and while I also illustrate and I like doing sorry.
No problem.
It's okay.
She looked out the window and there was a truck there. Hey, guard dog. Come here.
Aw.
So the thing
Looking out for mommy.
Yeah, is I do other art forms and I like it, but I also understand the intimidation of a blank sheet of paper. That blank canvas, you have unlimited possibilities. You stare at it, and unless you go into it with an idea, you're like, I want to create, but I don't know where to start. And the thing is energy. You need to start. Starting is the hardest point, because once you get going, then it flows. So the thing with miniatures is nice, and why I'll still draw and everything sometimes, but you pick up something and you don't have, quote unquote, a blank canvas. What you have is the possibility of certain things to be a blank canvas, but you start already with a shape. You start with something, and then you can make it into something else, and from there you can let your creativity flow.
Yeah. Okay, so I wanted to ask two things. How do you what mediums are you working with right now on miniatures? Is it only acrylics?
Yeah, it's only acrylics. I have oils. I have used oils in the past with canvas painting. I've done that when I was a teenager, and I still have those. So I still have oils, and I would like to try them on miniatures, but the main reason I haven't is due to the time.
Yeah.
When you paint on canvas, you can kind of just be like, okay, I've painted this, so I'm going to let it dry, I'm going to walk away and work on something else. And with a miniature, it's so small, it's like, I want to paint this, and I want to be done with it. Like, if it's a big bust or something like that where I can put it down and walk away. But the thing I like about acrylics is I can just keep working, then I can work in another section, because if you've ever seen me paint, I jump around on the model constantly. A lot of people, they paint something, they paint like the leg perfectly, and then they move on to something else. And I'm just like all over. I like to bring everything up to one like level, and then I'll start doing the final highlights and details. But yeah, it's just because I'm impatient and I didn't want to wait for a miniature to dry. So I haven't found the right piece to work with oils. Everything I've worked with is acrylic.
Yeah, cool. So the second question was, what's the, like, if you would have to set like a goal for yourself, what's the next thing that you want to learn? What's the next step for Zambies, paint-wise?
Like painting skills or just in the hobby in general?
I was thinking more like painting skills. Like, what do you strive for there?
I have been slowly working on non-metallic metal, and I know a lot of people work with that, and they always say like that's a big thing. And I like it's not something that I'm striving for just, you know, to create these masterpieces and for competitions. It's something I'm striving for because my brain has issues processing why my non-metallic metal doesn't look as good as someone else, even though people are like, no, that looks good. To me, something's not right and something's not clicking. So because that's happening and it doesn't come as easy to me as some other people, I'm going to keep pushing at it just to do it, to say that, yes, I figured it out. I can do it. Do I want to do it? No, but I have that skill now. So, you know, and I think the big thing for me is I just don't paint a lot of metal in general. I prefer skin, flesh, you know, creatures, fur. I love painting fur. I don't paint a lot of armor. But it would be nice. It's just a skill set that would be nice to have. And I'm working on it.
Yeah, cool. I feel like that's like a fake it till you make it kind of thing. Like you just keep going at it, and suddenly sometime maybe hopefully it will click.
I had a big issue with non-metallic metal, and the video that finally made it click for me was the one that Ninjon made, I think, like 4 weeks ago or something like that. And he was painting one of the Corsairs from the Nahmund box, and he broke it down really simple, and it came to a point where it was like, that is not non-metallic metal, that doesn't work, what are you doing there, mate? And then he came in with the counter reflections, and it all came together, and it was like, oh dude, this is how it works. Now I came at least to a point where I would understand it. And I'm not able to do it right now, but this video was the first that made me understand the process, which is amazing.
I really appreciate like Craftworld World Studios way of it. Like they work with so many different colors. It's just mind blowing to me. Like nobody else throw that much different like variations on it, yet it still works. And for me, it's just mind blowing. But yeah, they're amazing.
I think I get in my own head about it, where I'm like, it doesn't like. So the first time I ever took a really good stab at non-metallic metal was a blood demon I did. It's on my Instagram, but I think that was like over a year ago or something.
Cool.
And I took a lot of time looking at it, and I actually used Sam Lens has multiple videos of non-metallic metal because it just comes like so easily to the dude.
Go figure.
Yeah, and I watched his videos in order to try to grasp it, and I thought that metal turned out really good. So then I tried to go back and do non-metallic metal like a year later for my Golden Demon entry. And I shouldn't have. I really should have just done true metallic metal. But I just got it in my head that I need to try it. I knew it would be my downfall and the worst part of that piece. And it was. But I needed to at least attempt it. And there were so many different, like, because I did the Mind Stealer Sphinx, and there were so many different grooves in that metal and the reflections. I was like, I didn't put enough time and effort. Like I literally had like 2 weeks to paint that. So
it doesn't show. It was an amazing piece, though.
Well, there you. Yeah. Just don't look at the metal part. I'm happy about everything else. Just don't look at the metal.
So I get that you enjoy competition painting.
Yeah, I do. And I think I enjoy it because it's a challenge. It's like it puts a fire under your ass to try to create something. And I'm the type of person that I don't like being I don't like being overwhelmed, because I can get very easily like, break down because of that. But when it comes to competitions and things like that, I take it, it's a challenge. And it's not a challenge against other people, it's a challenge against myself. And it's that thing where like you can be a procrastinator, but you got to put this out. So let's go and do it. And I think that's why it's like, can I do this? Let's try. Maybe you'll burn and crash and fail, and it won't turn out the way you like it, but you at least did it. And that's all that matters.
Cool. Were you there for like the ceremonies? So how was from somebody who was there, how was the feeling like when he picked up the sword and the shearing and stuff? Was it nice?
Well, they didn't anticipate that many people in the room, so they had to open up the other spare room. And I don't know what it is about miniature painters, but apparently all you dudes are freaking tall. So I had to stand because there wasn't any seating. And I just have a row of tall ass men in front of me and all around me. So I could see the stage like this.
Fuck.
But yeah, I think everyone was so happy just to have, Golden Demon back in the States, and everyone coming out of like under rocks to paint and enjoy. And I remember all the cheering and clapping, and that moment, I just feel like everyone was just so happy. And no matter like the people who won or not, and I know people are gonna have a tizzy about certain things in every painting competition, but in that moment, I think it was just pure joy for a lot of people.
From the clips that's been shown, I mean, I think that's what's like shown through. So many. Joyous, like a joyous moment, like 100% joy. And I really like, I wanted to be that room so bad. Yeah.
I have a last question. So my personal last question. I bet Peter has much more, but it's a two-part question. This is my favorite brush. It's a Raphael 8404. It's a Kolinsky brush, and my two-part question is, what is your favorite brush to use? And I know the answer, but I know people want to know. A brush licking, yay or nay?
Oh, I'm a brush licker.
Nice. Fellow brush licker.
Yes.
I know we did it. I stitched your TikTok.
Yeah, you like that video?
That's awesome.
I'm not ashamed. So brushes. This is I get this all the time. People are like, what brushes do you use? I use cheap synthetic brushes. I have my one go-to sable brush is a Winsor & Newton size 0 that I use for like eyes and hair, like fine detail and hair. Everything else I use like normally anywhere between a size 4 to a size 8, synthetic, the craft store, hobby store, Golden Taklon brushes. And the reason I do that is because I beat the crap out of my brushes. Also, if you get the a good solid one, it's not how much like... They're not going to last as long as a sable brush. It doesn't matter. Even if you like take care of them, they're going to fall apart or maybe not fall apart, but they're going to fray at the end. And they get that hook and all of that. But they're cheap and they have a big belly with a pointy tip. And that is the big thing for me, because when you have those really small, like fine tip brushes, they don't have that thick belly and they don't have the control and the holding of the extra water. And it just, I know how to work with synthetic a lot more and I'm comfortable with it. And even when my brushes get that little hook on the end, I just use that to do detail work and to edge highlight around things. You just learn how to manipulate things and work with them as they go. And I'm comfortable. So like all my competition pieces and everything like that, people are like, oh, what did you paint that in? I'm like, a cheap $2 brush.
Cool.
I was so shocked. I painted this wonderful Nurgle lady through the last 3 streams, and I 90% used what are those Tuting artist brush from China, like the cheapest Teclon shit you could find. And I had a 2-week break where I built nearly everything I own. I painted nothing. I just built and primed. I was so eager to paint, and I actually forgot about taking out my good brush. There was like one step, I think it was in the last stream, where I was like, okay, I want to get out my good brush now for this detail work. But I used a lot of glaze medium, and apparently the Kolinsky brushes, the Sabre brushes, hate glaze medium. And I was so surprised. I was such a brush snob, and I just forgot about my good brush and painted mostly with a huge ass Teclon brush, and it worked fine. So as much as I love my brushes, I totally get why people can do amazing stuff with the cheap brushes, because it's the painter, not the tool.
Yeah, there are some tools that will help. Definitely. And, having a really good brush like those sables for certain things like detail, I'm not against. They help a lot. But for the bulk amount of work that you do, like I'm big on like wet blending and, over brushing and all of that. Like I feel like you can do that with like the bigger brushes help. And I've noticed that in the hobby and starting out, a lot of people always tried to use like small brushes for a lot of stuff, and I think they're afraid of having a bigger tool and thinking you don't have enough control with it, but I find it's the opposite for me.
I mean, I think mostly people think that they will get control with the smaller brushes, but they don't realize that the paint dries so fast if you don't have that belly, so you will just have a bad experience. Like you have to get comfortable with the brush control. That's just the Yeah.
I just learned that recently.
Yeah.
So, I always use tiny brushes.
Yeah. I wanted to know. I think we're closing in. I think we have to let you go, kind of soon. I think you said you had to relieve your husband of like child duty.
Yeah, we'll make sure the house is burned down now.
Yeah. I just wanted to know, like, you showed up in our Discord and you've been hanging out, showing off your like cooking tips and like or like a fitness group, hyping everybody up. How did you find us and how do you like hanging out?
I found you through Bear over there and his streams.
There you go.
No, I like joining Discords and just socializing with different communities. And though we are one huge community, there's a lot of like little areas that people just gravitate and hang out towards. And I pop my head in here and there on a lot of places because I'm in so many dang Discords. I have to have everything muted or I'm going to go crazy. I'm the type of person that if I get a notification, I have to clear it, or that little red dot just drives me crazy. Yeah. So I have to mute everything. And but I like popping my head in here and there and just seeing how people are going about their lives in all different places in the world.
this makes me wild. There are 2 red dots, and I need to fix them.
Oh my god, yeah. My partner will literally have like 5,000 emails
Yeah,
and his notification, and I'm like, I can't look at your phone ever because
no.
yeah.
I would murder those persons. If I see a phone like that, I would please just delete that app. Please remove it from my site.
It's over. Mm-mm.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude. So I would really love for you to tell us first anything you want to tell our listeners, any good words you want to get out there, and of course where they could find you if someone is coming to this podcast and doesn't know who you are. The chances are slim because we invited a well-known painting master here, but
That's you're hyping me up there a little bit.
But I would love to leave the final verdict to you, and of course, telling people where they could find you on the internet.
Oh man. Oh. I guess I'll leave a little bit of advice. You're going to get advice from everybody and take everything with a grain of salt. But I think when it comes to this hobby, always remember that this hobby, and the main reason that I think a lot of us get into it, just, not just because we need to do something, but it could be for me, escape from a lot of things. And this is my therapy and something I enjoy and I love. And if that's for you and what you do, remember that it has to be fun. If you're not enjoying it and you don't like what you're doing, change it. Find something you find fun. Just paint freely. Play with colors, push stuff around, get some inspiration. If you're burnt out, it's okay to take a break and do something else. Build, try new things. That's another thing, is try different types of art forms, see what you like and what you don't like about them, and then try to apply them to miniatures. Because you can find a lot of things that people experiment with don't come just from minis. They learn it somewhere else and they bring it into the hobby. And then that only enhances the hobby and makes things stand out. And you can learn so many different things by looking at other types of artists outside of the hobby.
Cool. Some nice advice.
Where to find me? Hi, I'm here. Don't come to my house.
There's a guard dog there.
Yeah, she will literally be very intimidating. But I am mostly on Twitch and Instagram, and everywhere you search, it will likely be Zambies or Zambies Decays, because someone took Zambies and I got sad about it, so I had to add Decays to it. I'm most active on Twitch and Instagram. I have a Twitter. Sometimes I'm on there. I have a TikTok, and I'm going to tell you right now, my TikTok is some mini painting and then mostly really bad jokes and stupid videos of like what kind of bagel I am. Spoiler alert, I'm a mini bagel because I'm a hobbit. So if you just want to like laugh, and that's a big thing for me, is there's so many terrible things in this world, and this hobby is supposed to be fun, and that's all I want to do, is try to see the light at the end of the tunnel and spread some laughter and joy around.
For sure.
That is true.
Nicely put.
So true. Peter, do you want to take us out?
Nah, you can do it. I could just
pass the buck.
I could just add like a thing. I saw. I thought it was kind of funny, but it's kind of dark. But I thought this might be.
I like dark humor.
Yeah. Recently I saw this like comic strip, like a virus leaving the room and a missile like in the door, like hi, like it's like the virus left and now there's war. Like in Ukraine, and then like yesterday or something, I like the news station here, they put out like a YouTube video, like they found a black hole in our solar system, and the tagline was like, they found a black hole, and if we get sucked in, we're screwed. And I thought that was like, it was like the epitome, like, okay, so we had a virus, we now have war, and now we're going to get sucked into a black hole. So that's 2022. Like, yeah.
Fear mongering all the way.
Yeah.
You know what? If we think about it, we are all a speck of stardust on a floating, hurling ball of gas in the infinite amount of space.
Yeah.
And if nothing else is after this life, then this is your one shot. Just try to enjoy it. Enjoy the ride is kind of how.
Yeah.
Because everywhere you look, like, obviously make change, make the best out of things, try to make the world a better place. But at the same time, you know, also I just try to make jokes about things and deal with it, you know?
Yeah.
Just try to see the joy in little things.
Yeah, that's
I have
exactly
to do
it.
another stupid thing, and that is this. Hey guys, I just captured Zambies, and she's in my computer now. And if you want to see her released and back to freedom, listen
There
to
she
our
is.
podcast because else we will keep her. Bye.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I need to put this on TikTok because.
When will this episode come out?
Tomorrow,
I'm
I
guessing
think.
tomorrow, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I will.
can I announce something? Is that okay?
Yeah,
Of course.
please feel free. Feel free.
So if you want to be all crazy and destroy some space marines with me or any type of model, we did it last year and we're doing it again this year. Something called the Fabulous Marines, and
Nice.
what we do is we try to promote inclusivity in the hobby. And the name kind of got thrown around about how we can make this more a safe place with wargaming, and it's stuck. And we decided to just put it with all miniatures, so it doesn't have to be a Marine. But the charity is for the Trevor Project, and I don't know if you have something like that in Germany, but in the United States is the top-rated charity to help out youth for the LGBT, everybody under the rainbow, and that. And it started out as a big suicide prevention place
cool.
and support for everyone who doesn't get that in their own, they don't have a safe space. So if they're ever questioning or anything like that, they have support. And so it's a big thing, especially in the United States, not to get political, but a lot of rights are being taken away and a lot of people are going to be scared and look for help and all of that. So last year we raised over 19K, and this year
Whoa.
we're going to try to hit
Nice.
20. So we're asking everybody in the community, if you're a content creator, you can sign up on our website and help promote, or if you simply just want to paint a Marine or any type of model you want,
That is
and use the
amazing.
hashtag Fabulous Marines to help promote awareness for the cause. Yeah.
Could you
Cool.
shoot me the links on
Perfect.
Discord so I will put them in the show notes?
Yep.
And
Nice.
I have never in my life painted a Space Marine, and I
Now's
feel
the time.
kind of tempted. I feel kind of tempted now.
Yeah, I have cut the head off mine, and I have put a lady's head on it, and I have big angel wings that I'm gonna paint in rainbows. Last year, I did a noise marine that I put on top of a car, I think it's like a car's car. It was like an RC car that actually ran. So yeah, it's just paint it fun and vibrant and help, raise money and awareness for a charity.
When is this going to start?
Oh yeah, it's that's a big thing. It's all June.
All
so
June.
You can. Yeah, so the reason we did June is last year most of us were Twitch streamers, and Twitch helps promote Pride Month. And they also raise money for the Trevor Project. So we do it all during June. But you can help donate and support and always promote inclusivity and support the Trevor Project year round, as you should.
All June. That is great. And is there a hashtag?
Yep. Hashtag Fabulous Marines or hashtag Fabulous Marines 2022.
Nice.
Nice.
Please shoot me all that information. I will put it in the show notes. We are always open for supporting any good cause. We started with Hannah. I personally would like to jump on that one as well. That is.
Of course, it's
an amazing idea.
I mean,
my first Marine disrupting the hobby scene. In painting fucking rainbows on them and making some neck beards pretty angry. I am up for that.
and that's the thing is some people are gonna get that, and I always say if people do that, just let them and mute it, because the louder we are with our love, the smaller they are with their hate.
Oh,
so don't
nice.
don't feed into them. And I actually posted that Marine on my TikTok, and I got nothing but happy, like, community. I think it's one of my top rated videos, and everyone commented on it, and it's great. So I think, surprisingly, there's gonna be some stick in the muds, but you might be surprised at how many people just are out there sharing love in the hobby.
Oh, I want to share a really, really small story regarding that topic, because I got called gay phobic because I was really uncomfortable when a dude hit on me. And the funny thing is, I am uncomfortable when anyone hit on me. It could be a woman, it could be a man, it could be a panda in a zoo, it could be an AI. Doesn't matter if it has a body or not, or what body it's in, or what head. I don't care. If someone will hit on me, I get really uncomfortable because of my own insecurities and stuff. And I am married, and my wife is going to kill them, and she won't. She also doesn't care if it's man or woman or anything in between. So it was a pretty fun discussion when I said, sorry, I don't want to, because that makes me uncomfortable. And I was called gay phobic, and I could just say, dude, sorry, if you were a woman, I would be the same way of uncomfortable.
That was just someone not handling rejection well. Like, there's a difference. Like, I would be awkward if anyone hit on me. So, yeah, like, it's different.
They won't be able to tell those things about Björn. When we finally meet each other, there's going to be like Journey music playing when we run.
You guys are gonna run and
in slow motion on a beach. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I will lift him up over my head, and then we just turn around.
Someone better be there recording this. It'd be just an epic moment.
Oh yeah. Awesome.
Someone posted a picture of someone getting mauled by a bear. So when we finally meet, someone posted a picture of a man getting mauled by a bear, and that was going to happen. Yeah. I think we totally overdid, and we cost someone special in your life some more kids time than was actually planned. But I am so glad that you came, and you're always welcome again. And I hope we see each other on Twitch and everywhere else in the hobby. Welcome to the PaintWater Soup family. We would like to incorporate you in the Discord and wherever we could get hold of you.
Yes.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, you're. I think you were on like the top of both our lists when we were like planning out like guests. So from me as well, I mean, thank you for everything that you've done, not only for like the hobby, but for Butterfly as well. It meant a whole lot, and yeah, I was really glad to have you here as our first guest, just to hang out. And not that I'm surprised that we didn't talk that much about painting. There was a lot of other stuff but yeah, that's usually how we work. So, and it was nice that for once we had a person that could actually speak English, like no stuttering and no nothing.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I think I'm okay right now, but if you've seen me stream, like, my English forming sentences, I actually did kind of okay here today.
Yeah, you had like one.
Yeah.
We were promised carnage and derailing the podcast, and instead we had a really nice conversation. And on that terrible, terrible disappointment, I will close the recording now. Thanks everyone for listening to PaintWater Soup. Thanks again to our wonderful, wonderful guest, and you created 2 more fanboys today. Have a good one, guys. See you on the next episode. We're out. Peace.
Bye bye.